third is there's also a culture, which is what we are looking at in the context of the brand, which is where does the brand draw its inspiration from. If you look at somebody like Amul, it says the taste of India, trying to make it look like whatever key food you're eating, its flavor gets enhanced substantially by a very Indian butter and products like Amul. So if you take Mercedes again, the quality of German engineering, a lot of people believe it's the best, precise, solid, dependable, reliable. If you take Apple, California particularly and the Silicon Valley area is considered a hotbed of innovation. There's an ecosystem which encourages risk taking. Apple kind of symbolizes that kind of spirit of innovation. If you take something like American Express, true ambassador in some fashion of Western capitalism, particularly American capitalism. So there's a lot of cultural aspects too which can be woven into this brand. There's also a relationship. For example, if you take Johnson & Johnson, you have the mother-child kind of bond that is always interwoven into their the messages that you get. And it can be image of lovers or of some other thing. The recent spate of advertisements with respect to male deodorants gives you one set of images and associations. It could also be a trusted confidant and so on and so forth. So it depends on the product category, the kind of relationships too that are built. And also from the receiver side, what is it we think of that particular brand? Who do you think will use it? For example, when instant coffee first came, a lot of the ladies first thought it will be the housewife who's using instant coffee is a lazy housewife. Because why? She's not taking the effort to grind fresh beans and give her household good coffee. Instead, she's taking instant coffee. Today, nobody would think like that, but at that particular time, that was the perception. Do we think more young people will use it, older people, show-offs, outdoors people, indoor people? All those our perceptions which we kind of put onto the brand. There's also the image that we have of ourselves. What is it we feel of ourselves? And do we feel that we might use that particular brand? Do we think of ourselves, for example, as socially responsible? Do we think of ourselves as different, individualistic, etc., etc.? So all this together helps you in understanding and getting a perception of a brand. So take something like a Nike. At the core, you might think that the proposition is the power to surpass mortal limitations by liberating the dormant spirit of genius inside. Okay, from the physical aspect, you have that swoosh and the logo, the sign-off line, the slug line, which is just do it. Now, if you look at the other aspects, the personality aspects, if you're fiercely independent type, maybe maverick, a genius type, pretty impatient, wants to get action happening fast. So, from an external side, it is somebody who's provoking you to do it as a coach. And from a more internal side is a spirit of never say die. I can achieve this. So, from the picture of the receiver, it is somebody you perceive who is individualistic, and a kind of a self-image you have is of a trailblazer. So this is one set of associations around a shoe, and more than a shoe brand today, like Nike. On the other hand, a set of images possibly for Reebok is a joy of being among those, to be among those feeling fit and looking good. And here the name is the key thing. The personality is more androgynous, more clean-cut, well-heeled, an active kind of personality. You can see how it changes with respect to Nike. Here the external aspect is not somebody like a provoking coach, but like a personal trainer, because he's interested in your physical and other well-being. So the other aspect, internal, is I'm interested in fitness and in looking good. So body worship, looking and feeling good. So, but you might think that a person who tends to use it is a little bit of a narcissistic, self-loving kind of individual. From your personal perspective, you think if you're using it, you're a very healthy and attractive individual. Now let's take a third brand of shoe again. Again, Here it is somebody who has a relentless pursuit of reflection in sports. So physically you have the name, you also have the triad, you know, the Adidas has a clear symbol which looks like an A in a triangular form. In terms of a personality, somebody who is perfectionist, extremely dependable and a performer. In terms of an external thing, it is somebody who walks hand in hand with you. Please remember the other two, provoking coach, a personal trainer. This is a comrade in arms, so to speak. And there is a spirit de corps, which is doing things together. Here, you would think somebody who is a true sportsman is your perception of the person who uses. From your point of view, you might think it's a dedicated captain, somebody who is a team player. Now, these are all actually at the end of the day shoes. But the personalities and the associations are quite different if you look at the brand identity map kind of construct. Now, of course, one can debate all this, you know, and have a good set of discussions. But what you might want to do is take similar products, you know, brands in a particular product category, try to see how you would map it. Why would you map it like this? Ask your friends how they would map it, and you'll be surprised at the kind of differing responses that you get. So, with this kind of examples and with this kind of an understanding of the utility and value of brands, you can make out they are very important and very vital for a firm. They are long-term assets which provide sustainable streams of revenue. While initially they were used for identification and subsequently differentiation, but over a period of time, customers actually started discriminating based on the value proposition that each brand started offering. Brands offer a number of benefits to both customers and the firms that own those brands, and it is vital for firms to manage these very crucial assets very judiciously. There are several important elements in branding, and it's important for firms to understand this and see how to figure out how to manage this. Brands really help in strengthening a firm and making it very competitive.